So we got to talk about this Chat GPT short story winning and how this Commonwealth Foundation creatives can't even tell AI slop from real stuff because they probably aren't even looking. They didn't even probably try to check. They just picked something and just decided to go with it. I swear to God, there needs to be like some kind of AI committee or art committee or something that can look through this and go, you know what, this is AI slop. We're not gonna give anybody like that's like this a pass, okay? So the story comes from right here. It says the 2026 Commonwealth Short Story Prize shortlist is here. Meet this year's cohort of 25 stand-art writers selected from 7,806 entries. 5 of these writers will be named the regional winners on May 13th before the overall winner is announced in late June. For now, meet our short story people, I guess. So before I even tell you, which one of these do you think is the AI one? Which one do you think is it? I'll just tell you, it's this one. This guy's even using an AI generated photo, and he gets his region was the Caribbean. So this got posted actually today, and it was The Serpent in the Grove by Jamir Nazir. It's a story set in rural Trinidad about a struggling farmer, a silenced young wife, and a grove that seems to remember what others tried to bury. Oh, God. That even sounds AI, don't it? Awarded the Caribbean regional winner for its lyrical precision and haunting atmosphere, the story stood out for the confidence and restraint of its own voice. Polished and confident, with a melodic voice that lingers long after the final line. Jamir Nazir's prose pulses with a voice of restraint and quiet authority. Okay, Sharma Taylor, did you just use AI on that? Jesus Christ. So here is the story. I am not going to read all this, but what I am going to point out is that it is really, well, I mean, I've already read all this, but I'm not going to read it on screen. But it has a lot of AI-isms in it. Like, Sita moved quietly as if sound were taxed. That's a way to, that is something. And you know what other thing that I think is kind of funny? When it comes to these, like, writings and stuff like that, they tend to use, like, AI loves to use the word something and then not describe it at all. It'll be like, it did something in the something. Here's another one. They called her Zungi. Maybe it was a name. Maybe Rain took a shape and decided to keep it. Okay. She had the kind of walking that made benches become men. The metaphors are really, really out there. Like, listen to this. Hold strain, y'all. I don't know if that's right. She said at last, voice cracking. Hush. Is Marcia. Inside the shack, Vishnu stiffened. It wasn't the words, but the way they split the day into before and after. He staggered out, rum turning to poison on his tongue, and went to the well. What about this made him do this? You know what I mean? Like, something moved in him. He saw all of it in a knife second. A knife second? I'm gonna finish this writing. And I swear to God, I better not hear a single version of "but Nimis" in the damn comments. We already know it's written with AI. I don't want to hear, oh, but I do that, okay? No, we're not talking about you. Like, there's this whole paragraph here that doesn't, I'm not sure what's happening. He grabbed the vine and hauled. Marcia hauled. Sita clawed stone. The well hated to give back what fell. Water's jealous. They pulled until Marcia's shoulders were fire, until Vishnu's hands were bone. Sita's elbow hit stone, then her hips, then one knee. She slid, found a purchase that hadn't been there a second ago, and disappeared after. She came over the lip, choking a sound the day almost refused. They lay on the hot ground, breath scraping sky? Marcia sat up. She looked once at Sita's leg, already running itself purple, and stood. "We goin' clinic," she said. "Bring a towel." What? Fuck, dude. So here's like this little part here, the end. I'll read the little end. It says, he doesn't lift, he only touches. The wood is warm from noon. He feels 2 heartbeats in it, a woman fighting stone, his own. He speaks, not with saints or ghosts, but to a living listening. I go to keep it closed, he says. I go keep it closed. Why we whisperin', Daddy? The child said. He looked at the stone gone to moss, trees made witness, sky still stingy with light, because this place knows things, he said. And when a place knows things, you talk soft so it can talk soft back. They stood together while the day moved on, while someone up the road joked into a pan of frying fish. A lorry coughed up a hill, a woman far off saying something too old for its words to matter. In the hot lush, the grove held its breath and released. In the hot hush, the grove held its breath and released it, small and entire, like a last stitch drawn through a wound that had finally decided to close. Pass there soft. If you hear something, keep it. People will argue with you about what the earth can do. The grove knows. Sita knew. Marcia knew. Vishu, his poor way, learned. The serpent of the grove was never only a snake. And then down here, it says, the grove remembered. The house remembered. The boy remembered. And now at noon, when the wind turns kind, the hum sounds less like hunger and more like earth clearing its throat to speak the names of those who came back. Bro, are we serious right now? Is this real? Is this real? Okay. So this is what I think. I think that this person, Vishnu, or not Vishnu, this person, Jamir, I believe that he wrote the original draft and then he put it in ChatGPT and he said, hey, make this sound better, but don't change the dialogue. The dialogue is important. And then it generated that. And because he doesn't know that, like, the dialogue is bad, like, because the dialogue reads like someone who doesn't know English, but the text kind of says that he does. So it's probably, or it's translating it and he didn't have anyone look it over, but I doubt that. This feels like he wrote it, needed it embellished and sounded better, and it added things to the story that probably wasn't there. Because things like, what burned there wasn't begging, it wasn't love, it was older, lower, a coal that hadn't died in the poor ash of their marriage, a blue flame saying plain I see you. Like there's so like that whole those four sentences I feel like aren't necessary. There's a lot of here that isn't necessary, and I feel like maybe he needed to meet a certain criteria to be posted for this, and he asked it to make more so it sounded interesting, because I don't know how anyone would read this and think that this is somehow some riveting story, because there's actually proof of this dude writing. Let's look at this. Is a Trinidadian writer of East Indian heritage whose work explores the cultural intersections of the Caribbean and the India diaspora, a prolific poet and author with books published and others forthcoming. He is particularly known for his love of poetry. His writing draws on landscapes, histories, and emotional beats, rhythms of Trinidad, where memory, heritage, and identity converge to shape voice and imagination. I hope readers walk away reflecting on the quiet consequences of choices we normalize. Beyond the story's tension, it is a deeper moral examination that I hope lingers. No, he didn't fucking write that. No, he didn't. His image also comes up as ChatGPT, well, as AI generated. Because this just doesn't feel like something, like if someone said you have to send a picture in, this is something that I feel somebody would generate, because when you look at all the other pictures, this one doesn't fit. Like, why would you send this picture as your picture? You look completely unfriendly, like you're not able, you're just not, this is not a picture I would send. And I mean, we talked about Pangram. It did 100% AI generated. The Grove hums at noon. Okay. In fact, someone used Grammarly, and it says possible AI text generated 47 parts of your text contain patterns that resemble AI text. These can occur in your writing. If you use generative AI, you can cite it. And it just shows Vishnu was 25 wearing the face of 50. Ooh. Hard living lays itself on a man like wet sacking. It never asked permit. Oh God. That's also another one. Asking permission. Here's one of his poems here. I love you beyond the ruins myself. And it goes Jamir, Nazir, copyright 2025. I loved you when my life was rubble, when even God turned his face away, when you came to me like a wound that glowed a lantern burning in the light of shadows. The scars you touched did not fade. They learned to shine. If the world ends, I will still find you. For you, my beloved, I carry a universe beneath my ribs. I mean, I don't really believe that this guy who wrote that, if he wrote that other piece. Like, people here are saying, even if it wasn't AI, it's terrible. Every single sentence is a gumbo of tortured metaphors and similes. It's very painful to read. It's embarrassing. Please find jurors and readers better equipped that recognize AI writing. Snake in the Grass, written by AI. Taking the piss now. Is this even a real person? Someone said that they thought it was probably a white man pretending to be brown, pretending to be Indian. They're just, why are you mad? Oh, okay. And no one's going to take you seriously. Now the award bait turd world slap is going to be written by robots, but the only reason to award those stories was because you felt bad for the writer. Confidence and restraint? Talk about running the gamut. Oh my god. It means something very important. You are okay with AI bullshit as long as it's woke. Is Jamir Nazir the name ChatGPT identifies with now? Oh god. Somebody has a little thing here. The first 2 paragraphs of this obviously AI-generated story contain the character Vishnu Muhammad and a nominally Trinidadian woman saying, "The Grove ain't forget," on top of a few facially incoherent metaphors. Racist judges going, "Well, that's just postco lit." Oh god. I'm not going to say this out loud, but I think you guys should just pause and maybe read that for a second. Because that's really funny to me. Oh, he has his... Oh, I see what he did. So oh, that's so weird. He asked AI to make an image for him, and that's what he sent as his image. And he writes his own posts, but I think that he asks ChatGPT to fix them because they're really... I don't know. This dude's weird. Like, doesn't it feel like a joke that the thing is called Snake in the Grass? Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like a joke? If you guys are new here, please subscribe, like, and hype the video so it can get out in the algorithm a little bit. And comment and say your favorite food, brah. Do that. Also, go over to my Patreon because I like to put out my art stuff in full res. And I also like to put out my writing if you guys are interested in my fantasy world stuff. So go over there, do it. So people are also saying here that it takes a lot of cultural ignorance to believe that a hero would be named Vishnu Muhammad, and that would be highly offensive in 2 religious traditions. A lot of this comes from, I think, that people who don't want to craft want the clout, they want the glory, they want all that stuff that comes with people who tried. They want to infiltrate even literary spaces. They've already infiltrated the artist spaces, and we were like, we don't want them. And authors and poets say, we don't want you guys here. They don't want to. The thing is they don't want to come to their own spaces. If there's an AI poetry contest, why aren't they doing that there? Why do you guys have to infiltrate into spaces where you're not wanted? And then why is it always with these contests that literally have nobody reading if any of the entries are AI? It's like these people who host these competitions are asleep at the wheel, or they're lowering their standards to where they're not even reading it. They're skimming it, or at worse, they're putting it in AI and saying which one is the best one. Because there's an issue on TikTok where, like, I haven't even talked about it, but I have a belief. This is one of these beliefs that because of the TikTokification of everything, that there's too many content creators and they want their day in the sun, right? And I believe possibly some of the book talkers who don't like reading and people who also don't like reading, they're just going into AI and asking the AI to skim it so they can have a memory of it, so they can talk about it because they want to be in on the conversation. This is wanting to be in on applying to a literary contest and getting an award. I feel like this dude's taking the piss, but this is a bigger... People don't want to read shit. People just don't want to read shit. They'd rather just, like, I honestly believe that most people who don't read shit and don't look at shit, they're probably addicted to TikTok. And I'm not saying you can't like TikTok, because I love me some good TikToks, man. But if your attention span is like a goldfish, you take a wrap around the bowl and you forget in 30 seconds. Like, AI ain't gonna help you. It's not gonna help you be a better writer. It's not gonna help you be a better artist. Maybe it can do other things, but creatively, it's just like in my last video, I said the only people who can really make do with AI are people who already know what they're doing, not people who don't know what they're doing. This is a case of another person who doesn't know what they're doing. They don't have the skills and they think that they can just apply to the contest because they just want their time in the sun. I mean, I just talked about Coral Heart producing 200 freaking AI novels a year, and they're all AI generated with the right tropes. And this is just one of them. This is just one of them with this guy. A rural struggle, a silenced woman, like nature as memory. Like what? Can you just fucking chill? Can you just chill with that shit? Ugh. And because like readers and publishers are going to start assuming like this is good work, they'll just accept shit work because they're already doing it. And publishers aren't even looking for people who write stories anymore. They're looking for what got popular and giving those people publishing deals. So nobody wants like it. I feel like the old world of doing things where you can hone a craft is, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like honing a craft is great, and people are all like, oh well, the slop will stay below and the humans will prevail over it because it's great writing. That is literally what every AI bro says. Every single one of them. They say if it's really amazing, it'll outshine everyone. That's not how it works. When someone like Coral Heart or this dude is flooding contests and like book genres and making 200 books or 200 poems a year and filling everything with slop. I did a calculation that like for every 16 things that you interact with that is like a book or a picture or whatever, one out of those 16 is a real person. So you're more likely to interact with AI slop than you are a real person. And I think that it is totally fine to keep calling out AI slop as it is until something is done where, people don't like that pangram thing exists, but there has to be something. There has to be something that people can look at and go, yes, this is AI content, and stop people from lying about it because it's a deceptive practice. I rarely see anything that's AI that is not a deceptive practice unless it has to do with math or has to do with medical or something with the environment sometimes. If it's not AI focused in the sciences, then it's probably being deceiving. And the people hosting it or using it are deceiving. AI companies are deceiving. It's just very deceptive, very manipulative. So I guess that's it for me. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that it read AI to you? I mean, I think you guys, if you guys want to, it's kind of a funny read, so I think you guys should go look over it. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.